Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many years of its existence as EA Sports welcomes you to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Oakland Raiders. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ready, back, put back behind.
On play action, Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated.
Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. First carry for Josh Jacobs. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. To throw is Carr. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Mike, 45. Hey, let's get in that hole.
Here's Jacobs on first and 10. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a second and 13.
Sunday, down. 185. Express. 45. Mike, 45. 808. Watch the screen.
On second down, Jacobs. And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction.
6-18. 45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. I'm coming up to Hey, high 7.
Shotgun now for Carr. He'll buy some time right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, Quarterback's got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
49-yard attempt.
The kick by Bryant is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now on 2nd and 13. Winston caught on the right side by Jones. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Ready? Blue 80. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball. Green, come see.
Winston on 3rd and 2. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They must. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Under crunch. 93.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And it'll be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
From the gun, it's Carr. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
At the 24-yard line.
Let's get that ball right here.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. Looking left side, and it's complete. 22 yards there, a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Check 13. Check 13.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
40. Down. 180. Mike, 45. Purdue. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. 637.
From the gun, Carr. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Ready? Blue way. Go, Jack, let's go. We got this. We got this. Flip it, flip it, flip it. Boom, boom. 57's the mic. Rock 57. And what's that? And what's the ball? 57's the mic. 57.
Winston now to throw on first down. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Ready?
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Let him know, let him know. Follow. Hey.
Jameis to throw it. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5.
You remember me? You remember 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
To the air again with Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Tighten up, tighten up.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. That's trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Brandon Marshall.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Yeah. You don't want white.
Play fake. Winston. Evans has it left side. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Winston now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the gun, Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They'll try again with Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Watch the shit.
They go play action. Winston. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. They tried the fade there to the back corner. And, Charles, you know very well that can be hard to stay in bounds on that route.
So difficult because you have to start the route to give yourself enough space to actually fade away from the defender and stay in bounds. Just as you described, if the defender's able to take away that little bit of cushion, it's often hard to come down inbounds with the ball and complete the play.
And Gay knocks this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, Winston. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Running the toss here to Jacobs. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. There to stop him was Carlton Davis.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
And 99 yards to go if they want to do just that. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Winston now. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Hey, team 6, team 6. 45, Mike, 45. You're trapped. Check.
On 2nd and 9, Carr looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Bravo.
Carr now on 1st down. Flush to his right. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Hey, exit.
1st and 10.
On 1st down, Jacobs. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
I'm coming after you. Hey, you. 45. Mike, 45. Here we go, D. Hey, it's 7:34. It's just me and you. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Oh, here we go. Oh. 45 to Mike.
From the gun, Carr. Bike, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
I heard all the stories. I watched some of the tape of the old school guys, the throwback guys who were the punishing runners and knocked people aside to pick up yardage. I'm so glad I was sitting here today and got to see it with my own eyes.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. And Winston lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
What part they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him.
No
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now, 180. Check 45. Right on 1. Tighten up. Tighten up.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nicholas Morrow on the tackle. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 2nd and inches, Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He'll find his running back here, Richard. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a desperate, and that's caught inside the 30. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it.
Yeah.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Buccaneers, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.